Welcome back. As you can see, we already have the autocomplete functionality. So I can search for a name right here, and it's going to display the drop down, the names in the drop down. And I added a function, but the function does nothing yet. So what we want to do in this video is to create a function inside our provider, so that when we click on any of this list or item, it's going to return the current weather information as well as the forecast weather information. And we're going to create the function inside our weather provider class. So I'll go into my weather provider right here, providers folder, weather provider.ts. So weather weather.ts file. Inside the weather provider class, this is what we have. So if I scroll down here, the function that we need to create is similar to this current weather function. The only difference is we are not going to be using longitude and latitude. We are just going to be using the city name. So what I'll do is I'll copy out this from here, copy, come down here, then paste. Then I'll change this to search city. Inside, I'll just pass the city, which will be of type string. So now the same thing we did here, we are returning an observable and we want to get the current weather info, current weather, then forecast weather. Then I'll change them right here. Change right here. Then change this one as well. We are using the fork join. This is going to return a single observable, and the observable is going to be in an array. Now the next things we need to change are these. We don't need the longitude and latitude. Rather, we want to use the city, which is the city name. So for the current weather, it's going to be after the weather, then the question mark sign. I'm going to add Q equal to, then I'll add the city name right here, which is city. I'll do the same for the forecast right here. So I'll change from city, from longitude and latitude to city name. So Q equal, then the dollar sign, open and close brackets, then I'll add city. Just like what we did for current weather, we are returning the units in metric. We are adding our API key. Then for forecast, we are returning a count of 10. That is 10 results will be returned. That is just the only change we need to make here. Now, since this is returning an observable, wherever we are going to use this search city method, we'll need to subscribe to it. And to subscribe to it, let's go into our search.ts file. Inside the search.ts file, we need to import our weather provider, which is this. We need to import this class. So right here, I can do something like weather provider. So it's going to import it. Let me move it down. So then I will inject it into my constructor. This is going to be private weather provider of type weather provider. So this is what we have right here. Imported the weather provider service, then I injected it into the constructor. Inside here, we want to call this search city method. If I go into my app.component.ts, you can see here that we called the current weather method that we have inside our provider, and we subscribed to it right here. That is the same thing we are going to do inside our search.ts file. So right here, what I'll do is say this dot weather provider dot search city, and I'll pass the city name. The city name can be obtained from, we can either say e.description, or we can use e.structured. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, this. So I'll copy this out. Go back here. So e.structured underscore formatting dot main underscore test. So that is what we are passing as the parameter inside the search city. Then I need to subscribe to it. So I'll say dot subscribe. Then if I pass the results, then I can do a console.log and it's going to return the results. So here we subscribe to the search city method, passing in the city name, which we are getting from here. In fact, let me change this to item. So this is going to be item as well, because the item is coming from here as a parameter. So whatever you pass here, you can pass any variable here. It's going to contain the values. So now I'm doing a console.log. I'll save. And note we already have this click here. So when we click on any item, it's going to display the values. So if I go back here, so I'll open up the search page, hit search, and open the console. So right here, I'm going to search for a city. So London. Now you can see the results being returned, the array, and it contains two objects, one for current weather and one for the forecast weather. Now here, let's see, we can see the name here, London. If I click Los Angeles, you can see it's here as well. So we are returning the informations. The next thing is, if I go to the forecast, you can see we are returning 10 objects inside the list array. So right now, all of these, they are working the way we want. All we just need to do is find a way, just like we did inside our app.component.ts file, just like we did here, exactly what we did here. That is what we are going to do inside our search.ts file. We are going to save the data in the using the local storage, and we are going to set that value to the home page. So whatever value we get as the city, that is what we are going to set as the home page.